I wonder what the atomic blonde Charlize Theron has on Dominic Toretto to make him go rogue. Fate of the Furious, directed by F. Gary Gray, the man that directed Straight Outta Compton, starring Vin Diesel, Charlize Theron, Michelle Rodriguez, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Kurt Russell, Scott Eastwood, and Nathalie Emmanuel. This movie is the 8th or 9th film in the Fast and Furious franchise. I suppose you could say 9th if you were to count Tokyo Drift, but I know technically it's the 8th film because Tokyo Drift is a spin-off. And this movie is the first movie without Paul Walker since Paul Walker's death. So in order to keep the audience invested, our villain, Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, has something on Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, to make him go rogue, to make him turn against his crew. And we have our movie. She makes him steal some very dangerous stuff throughout the film to create havoc. And this forces the crew to work with the one person that they really don't want to work with, which is Deckard Shaw, the villain from the previous movie, Jason Statham's character. We still have a bit of a love triangle between Tez, Ramsey, and Ramon, even though Ramsey picked Tez in the last movie, I guess. So I don't know why there's a love triangle between them still. And I have to say, I did like this movie. This is a pretty good addition to the Fast and Furious franchise. The romantic chemistry between Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel is great. I really did like them together. And Charlize Theron makes an excellent villain. I really did like her in the movie. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is awesome in these films. I really do like him in these movies. And Tez, Ludacris' character, he's really hilarious. I like the comic relief he brings to this movie. And the love triangle between him, Ramon, and Nathalie Emmanuel, Ramsey, is pretty good, even though I thought it was resolved in the last movie, so I don't know why there's still a bit of a love triangle between them. And the running joke with Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son, who has been brought in to be kind of like Paul Walker's replacement, I guess, is pretty funny because they call him Little Nobody in the movie, and that was a pretty funny gag there. And of course, one of the big things about this movie is that the crew now gets a tank to drive, which is awesome. I really enjoy myself when I watch these films. These are very fun, dumb popcorn films, really. They're not serious action films like John Wick 2, really. It's a film where you just sit back, eat popcorn, and turn your brain off kind of movie. And they're very Michael Bay light, even though I don't like Michael Bay movies, but these movies I can tolerate. And throughout the Fast and Furious franchise, the films have been okay to very bad between 2 through 4, and it wasn't until Fast 5 did they get really good, because that's when they shifted from street racing to street racing and dumb action. The action part of these movies are where it gets really good. Now, the negatives though with this movie is that some of the action is a bit much beyond suspension of disbelief, and Tyrese Gibson can get a little bit annoying. I don't find him funny all the time, really, especially when he shouts a lot, which is why I hope he never gets casted as Green Lantern John Stewart, because he would be a terrible pick for that role. I know he wants to do that role. But overall, this is a good movie for the Fast and Furious franchise to watch. Even though I do miss Paul Walker in these movies, I still like this movie. So I'm going to give this movie a B. It is worth checking out, and that's all I got to say for Fate of the Furious.